Jazzcast Pros.
When you look at a community where so much poverty, miseducation of our children, so many of our children victims of violence, you would think that Black Buffalo would be just like a hotbed for resistance, for social action, and create a better community. But there seems to be just like a collective lethargy. You know, when you try to do things to kind of uplift, you're just like begging people to participate in activities that would impact the quality of their own lives.
Welcome to Igniting Hope Radio, where we realize the differences between equity and equality. Here at the Buffalo Center for Health Equity, quite frankly, we don't want equality, we want equity. Here in Buffalo, New York, 12 years of life is lost by each person living in specific areas of Buffalo because of their race. 0% of health should be determined by where a person lives. We want equity. The only way to change hearts and minds is through emotional engagement, to get people behind it, and continuously support the concept with facts. This is our aim and our mission weekly as you join Pastor George on Igniting Hope Radio. Hello, good morning, good day, good afternoon, whatever time of the day that you're tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to Igniting Hope Radio Podcast. It's your co-host, Kimberly Slugarambe, with Pastor George F. Nicholas. Today we have a very special guest, and her name is Erin M. Moss. Erin M. Moss is a mental health counseling private practitioner. She's dedicated to helping take care of mental health to improve quality of life. Erin has provided therapy for children, teens, and adults facing mental health challenges, including depressive disorders, anxiety disorders, domestic violence, trauma, multicultural concerns, family conflicts, and self-esteem building. So it's no surprise that Erin will be one of our facilitators for the You Are Not Alone 4-part series conversation, teaching us how to identify harmful and risk behaviors. At this time, I'd like to bring to the mic none other than Pastor George F. Nicholas. Pastor George F. Nicholas, talk to the people.
So this is Pastor George Nicholas. I am the chair of the Buffalo Center for Health Equity and the African American Health Equity Task Force, as well as the senior pastor of Lincoln Church here in the city of Buffalo. And thanking you for joining us this morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're listening. You know, when you think about our people historically and thinking about the arts, the whole genre of the blues, which is absolutely a brilliant artistic expression of just the emotional trauma that we have gone through and continue to go through as a people. But then I juxtapose that off, not all, but some of the music that's kind of popular today, that some of it sounds like a cry for help. Some of it is re-traumatizing, I think, our community. Some of it is almost uplifting some of the most painful elements of our community. How do you think about the cycle and mental and emotional condition of our people and its relationship to the arts and the expressions of our art forms? What do you think about? What does that make you think about?
Such a great question. I love this because I actually went to the Performing Arts School here in Buffalo, New York, grades 5 through 12. So that was the basis of my whole education from age 10 to 18, and I was a vocal music major. I believe that arts, music is a free expression, and it is, one of the few places where you can just be what you want to be and say what you want to say. And I believe in protecting music. That doesn't mean that every song or every lyric is for everyone, but I do believe in the power of music, and those lyrics speak to someone. When we look at hip hop and rap kind of culture, I think everything has its place. When I think of some of the lyrics and there, some of the rap artists a bit vulgar and things that are going on, but they're real things that are going on in the communities. I'm not saying that's the only thing going on, but that is someone's reality. That is someone's window. And so it's interesting as we, look at the times and the genres of music and how things have transformed. Some of the beats and things, the instrumentals sound different, but some of the themes are the same. There's a lot of hardship when we look at the Black struggle that is communicated through music, whether we like it or not. If we go to some of these neighborhoods, this is exactly what we're going to be seeing. This is the window that we're talking about. And so if we want different music, if we want people to express things differently, how do we change the way people see the world?
That's a good point, and I'm deeply concerned with the state of Black America and specifically our community, Western New York. Sometimes I feel like there's almost like this collective depression over the Black community in some ways. When you think about the inability to resist, so for example, you would think when you look at a community where there's so much poverty, miseducation of our children, so many of our children victims of violence, lack of economic equality, residential segregation, you would think that Black Buffalo would be just like a hotbed for resistance, for social action, for trying to build and create a better community. But there seems to be just like a collective lethargy that, when you try to do things to kind of uplift, you're just like, begging people to participate in activities that could impact, the quality of their own lives. How do you think their relationship with feeling hopeless, depressed, and the inability to resist or engage in things? What do you think about that?
I think you make some good points. It's a mindset that has to shift. Oprah talked about how when she, started getting fame and notoriety and, more income, that she wanted to buy a neighborhood and move everyone there and pay for this, new Black community and to, have people living well. And she realized that it's a mindset shift that would not have worked, that it wasn't just as simple as changing the environment, of telling people this is what you can do, this is what you have access to, but people have to want it for themselves. And I think about that when I think about Buffalo, and not just Buffalo, other places. This is our window, but I know there are many other places that match what we have going on here in Buffalo. And somehow people have to want something more for themselves. A lot of the, professional scene or young professionals in Buffalo come from these very same environments that we're talking about. I grew up on Buffalo's East Side, and I'm proud to say that. I think it's all about wanting different. I think it's all about having the courage to try, even with your voice trembling, even not knowing, but to want something more for yourself. I think we mean well in wanting to introduce people to new programs and systems and things that they can use. But I think a lot of times we have to meet individuals where they're at. We have to find out what their needs and concerns are. We have to hear their struggles. And it's a step-by-step process to changing someone's mind first before people can really take to what it is that you're trying to introduce.
What do you do, Erin, to feed your spirit, to feed your mind, to feed your body, to keep you whole and not allow for, the collective trauma of our experience and just the challenges that we face on a day-to-day basis? And then you even exposing yourself even more to not only dealing with the issues that you face in your own journey, but taking on the issues of others. What is your practice to keep yourself whole?
Well, I'm going to be honest. It can be difficult at times when you're dealing with, some of these dynamics yourself of being, a Black person in this world and also then helping other people with their traumas daily. It can be a lot at times, but I have to be intentional about taking care of myself. And that's something that I tell other people that they have to do. They have to make room for it. Sometimes it doesn't always feel like to me that I want to do that. Maybe I'd rather just go to sleep or, not, go somewhere with my friends or families, but I force myself sometimes to do that, to get out of that place of feeling stuck or low. For me personally, I recharge in nature. I really feel God's presence in environments that aren't bogged down with buildings and pollution and, a lot of people and a lot of noise. I like to be places that are peaceful, calming, and serene. And in those places, I can hear my own thoughts. I can connect with myself. I can connect with God. And I feel like the weight of the world is lifting. And so that's something that I like to do, whether it is I'm able to take a trip out of town or if I'm able just to go to a park in my neighborhood and take a walk and look at the leaves and the different things in nature. It really helps me to get away from the hustle and bustle of the world.
So we're getting to the end of our time together, and we certainly will have you back because we want to really there's so much that we need to unpack, and you have so much to offer to the community, and we want to use our platform to give you that space. But one of the things that we're doing right now with our 4-week series called You Are Not Alone, and on Thursday evenings, if you're interested in, and we want to extend this invitation to you, go on to our website, buffalohealthequity.org, buffalohealthequity.org, and log on, register for our Thursday evening program, You Are Not Alone, from 6 o'clock till 7:30. And we'll have different people like Erin sharing with you, giving you good information about how we can begin to break the stigma around mental health, how we can begin to address the uptake in self-harm and suicide within our community. So Erin, can you share a little bit about why these types of programs are important for our community? And you'll certainly be leading us in conversation this Thursday.
When we talk about the world being so fast-paced today, how great is it that you can connect to a program where you can learn something, from your phone, from your device? When we talked about just where does change happen, why aren't people connecting to things? It starts with the seed being planted. And so when we take the time to take in information, from people that we can trust, especially right here in our community, it matters, it helps. And also, it's someone telling me that it's okay to feel the way that I feel, that there is help. It gives me hope. It's a real person, a real connection. And I'm so looking forward to this program and to just shed light on my topic is harmful behaviors, that there are so many ways in which we can harm ourselves, and understanding what's good for you, what's not good for you, and how that impacts your mental health. So I'm really looking forward to doing this, and I hope people tune in.
I really appreciate you, Erin. Not only respect the professional work that you do, but I consider you a friend. And I think that, as we begin to start building the network of folks in this community that really have a great concern about the well-being of our people, I believe that we're building a movement that's going to begin to start providing healing for our folks. And so we're so grateful to you today. And I would again encourage those of you who are listening to go to our website, buffalohealthequity.org, and register to participate in our You Are Not Alone sessions every Thursday night at 6 p.m. from 6 to 7:30. You can join us from the comfort of your own home or wherever you are, because there'll be a virtual event. It's going to be a safe space for you. It's going to be a space where you can just get good information. It'll be a space where we're going to give you some tools on how to deal with some of the stresses and trauma that you may be going through from a day-to-day basis. And really just building this kind of community of care that will make sure that we and our community are healthy and whole. So this is Pastor George Nicholas. I am the chair of the Buffalo Center for Health Equity and the African American Health Equity Task Force, as well as the senior pastor of Lincoln Church here in the city of Buffalo. And thanking you for joining us this morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're listening to our Igniting Hope broadcast. Until we meet again, God bless.
Well, it's been Igniting Hope Radio. Thank you for tuning in for your weekly dose of hope. And we ask you listeners to please share, like, subscribe, whether it be on Spotify, Apple, whatever your podcast listening platform is. Share it with a friend and tell us what you think. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and be healthy.